Hi everyone, I'm Wendy, and today I have a special What I Eat in a Day Parent Edition. That's right, I'm showing you what my whole food plant-based parents eat. I stayed overnight at their house and then spent a whole day with them, so I'll show you everything we did that day. My mom and I usually wake up before my dad, and we get our green tea ready. My mom drinks the same green tea that I do from Say Me Tea. My parents also like to drink Dandy Blend, which is a caffeine-free coffee substitute. So while we're waiting for the water to heat up for our tea, my mom is filling up her Dandy Blend jar. They'll have that later with their breakfast. My mom also likes to drink hibiscus tea. Even after switching to a whole food plant-based diet, she had a little bit of a stubborn high blood pressure for a while, so she started incorporating hibiscus tea multiple times a day. Her blood pressure is normal now, so she doesn't need the hibiscus, but she still enjoys it every once in a while. So while we're heating up the water for our green tea, she's getting that ready as well. After that steeps, she'll let it cool and keep it in the fridge and drink for the next day or two. But for now, we'll drink our green tea and enjoy our guilty pleasure. Yes, we realize it's the middle of summer, but we still love to watch cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies. Sometimes we all need the comfort of a predictable happy ending. Then, once my dad gets up, it's time for breakfast. My mom batch cooks oatmeal like I do, although she makes hers slightly differently than mine. In my batch cooking oatmeal video, I show both her and my method, so you can check that out for all the details. But when it's time for breakfast, my mom portions out some oats, which she also mixes with pumpkin like I do. Then for my dad, she adds a couple of raisins. They both add a scoop of applesauce and some frozen blueberries. They both also like soy milk in their oatmeal, so she adds that and then heats it up. That day, I still had some of my own batch prepped oatmeal from my house that needed to get eaten, so I brought that over. Mine has canned pumpkin, dates, and pumpkin spice in it. Then I also add blueberries. Once that's heated up, I added some flax seeds. My parents add a combination of flax seeds, chia seeds, and cinnamon. My mom reuses these little cups and mixes everything up ahead of time, so it's easy to dump it in every day. Before they eat their oatmeal, my dad also eats some steamed spinach. This is sort of inspired by Dr. Esselstyn, although we don't do it 6 times a day. But he does put a little balsamic vinegar on it as recommended by Dr. Esselstyn. My dad also loves oranges, so he has a few orange slices with every meal. Part of this is just because he likes oranges, but also if you've heard me talk about my dad's story before, he used to have severely low iron. So he likes to get some extra vitamin C with every meal to boost iron absorption. For most people, this is not necessary. There's plenty of vitamin C and iron in a whole food plant-based diet. And even though my dad doesn't seem to have a problem with iron anymore, he still likes to eat his oranges with each meal. Then my mom also has a smoothie like I do every morning. On this day, we made one using baby arugula as well as some kale that we got in our CSA. We also added some soybeans, frozen banana, frozen mango, and water. Then, like I mentioned earlier, my mom and dad like to drink Dandy Blend. So after breakfast, they drink their Dandy Blend, and my dad does some word searches while my mom does some work on the computer. After that, my mom did some food prep. They eat salads with lunch and dinner every day. So every few days, my mom preps veggies so she can make those salads really quick and easy. After prepping all the veggies, she also went ahead and made our salads for dinner that day, so we wouldn't have to do it later. We had mixed greens, cabbage, tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. My mom will stack those in the fridge and will add dressing later. A couple weeks ago, I told you about how several months ago my dad had a stroke. He's already back to where he was prior to the stroke, but they still continue to do some of the PT and other exercises. One of my dad's favorites is wall push-ups. And then it was about time for lunch. My dad likes carbonated water every once in a while. He doesn't drink it every day, but on this day he wanted one. This brand is pretty clean, it's just flavored with some different juices. And while my dad drank that, my mom got their lunch ready. They usually have the same thing for lunch every day, so my mom preps a lot of that ahead of time too. Here's a glimpse of her chest freezer. She's got cooked mashed sweet potatoes, and this is how she preps my dad's morning spinach that you saw earlier. And on the left is a mixture of beans and quinoa and spices that she uses in my dad's lunch wraps. She freezes all of this in muffin tins and then reuses Ziploc bags to store them. So for lunch, my dad will have a couple of those frozen portions of sweet potato, and for his wrap, he uses this Olay brand Extreme Wraps. This is one of the more processed things that my dad eats, so I wouldn't consider this a whole food wrap, but he really loves them. We're still looking for a better, more whole food wrap that's just as pliable, but we haven't been able to find one that he likes. So for now, this is what we use. My mom spreads a little bit of avocado. These are just 1 ingredient avocado cups. Then she adds one of those defrosted mixtures of quinoa and beans. To that, she adds veggies. Today, it's peppers, tomatoes, and onions, and then a little bit of hot sauce. My dad only eats one of these wraps each day, but my mom makes 2 at a time. So now his lunch for tomorrow is already ready. Then my dad has a side salad with that, and my mom has a giant salad for her lunch. Sometimes she adds whole grains to her salad, but on this day she just added chickpeas and a bunch of other veggies. My mom also loves goji berries, so she always adds those as well. And then she tops it off with her oil-free balsamic vinaigrette, which I've shared before, and I will put the link here so you can watch that. I also had a big salad that day. I had already prepped it at my house the night before to use up some veggies that I had. So like my mom's salad, I just have a variety of veggies and I added some chickpeas. And then I also added some of these pickled garlic scapes, which I think I just talked about in last week's video, so you can go back and check that out too. Then I add a few hemp seeds and pumpkin seeds, and my mom and I also each have a whole wheat roll. She had made a bunch of these a while ago and frozen them. Then after lunch we had some peaches and I also had a few grapes. But my mom and I were still a little hungry, so we finished off these leftovers. This is einkorn, which is just a type of whole grain wheat. My mom had mixed it with my cheesy sauce, and I think she had some bell peppers in there. They had eaten that with another meal and had just a little bit left over. After that, we started making a strawberry rhubarb crumble to have with dinner. We got rhubarb in our CSA that week, so we chopped it up and made this crumble from Jill Dalton on the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show. We've been making several of her desserts lately, and when we got the rhubarb, we searched her site and found this recipe, which was super simple. It's really hot outside, so instead of turning the oven on, we just baked it in the toaster oven, and it smelled divine. When that was done baking, we all decided to go out for a walk. My dad didn't want to be on camera, so here's just my mom and I being goofy heading out for our walk. Like I said, it was pretty warm that day, so we didn't walk too far, but it's nice to get out and get a little bit of fresh air. Then for dinner, we had mashed potatoes and gravy, some sauteed zucchini, onions, and tomatoes, corn, and our meatloaf patties. And no worries, there's no meat involved. They just have all of the flavors we love from meatloaf, but they're made out of beans and grains. I'll add a link for that recipe as well. With that, we had another one of those whole wheat rolls and those side salads that we prepped earlier. After dinner, we dug into that strawberry rhubarb crumble. We also made some strawberry banana nice cream to go with it. I highly recommend this crumble. It was really delicious. And we've used basically the same crumble topping with other fruits like apples, peaches, blueberries, and it's always delicious. The nice cream on top takes it to a whole new level. In the evening, we usually play a game or work on a puzzle or something like that. And that's about it for our day. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed seeing what my parents and I ate, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.